Today is July 30th, 2019, and I am pre-recording this message because in a very few days I'll be seeing my brother for the first time in 5 years for his birthday. And I'm looking really forward to it, looking really excited to it. There's just a ton of emotions going on with it, honestly. I kind of don't know what's the best way to put it. There's happiness, there's sadness, there's worry, there's fear, there's a little bit of everything. And when I don't feel like everyone is 100% like got my back, that's where I'm like, I guess those that do and those that matter will, long term. And those that won't, well, I don't know. It kind of stinks because we're more likely to dwell on the negatives than on the positives. And there's probably more positives, and I need this, especially right now, more than anything else. This will be for Bolton's 9th birthday. And not just him, but I'll be able to see, a bunch of my family there and some friends. But I'm doing it mostly for his birthday. I'll say that. And that's something that, I went out of the way to make sure. And everything kind of just aligned perfectly. I got a nice little gig making a website and had a nice payday. And I said, hey, I got to find out when my brother goes back to school. And, there's a 2-week time span from buying the ticket to going and see him. And by the time that this video comes out, because I'll probably put it around for 6 p.m. EST, I will have seen my brother. God willing, nothing bad happens. So, but I guess we'll kind of go into my journey, essentially, of going to Indiana. So, of course, I'm Dominic. Everyone knows me. It's been 5 years since I've seen my brothers. And, for the most part, it sucked every single day not seeing them. But my youngest brother, Bolton, specifically, I can tell that, I'm kind of like a superhero. And so, I kind of want to remain that way in a sense. I want to be able to be there for him. And, I want to be able to get back the relationship with my other brother, Cole, because I don't think we're as tight, really, as we used to be. And I don't want that ever to happen with Bolton or any of my other siblings, And I have a nephew and a sister there, too, that I want to see. And the other thing is, I can't leave back my family here, but I know, eventually there's going to come a point where I'm going to move out and I'm going to have my own life eventually. And it's going to be hard. So there's that. And I don't really want to leave people behind, And when so many people matter to you, it just really sucks because you're always disappointing someone. And the more and more I know, especially even as this whole YouTube phenomena just grows and more people need me, maybe I don't realize the people that I need in a sense. So there's that. But this is something that I need, this little trip here to see my brother for his birthday. Like I said, it's his 9th birthday. And that's when things are really times are changing. People are getting older. I just celebrated my 21st birthday. And I know I don't look or feel 21 at all. Of course, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't have any tattoos on me. I think the only thing I would be willing to do is probably have a couple tattoos, honestly. But, just right now, it's not my priority. It's just relationships. And there is this nice girl that I'm talking to, but it's not my priority to jump into that. I want, security and maybe a little bit of happiness, but for a while it's kind of just been, just living life day by day, kind of, I wouldn't know if I'd really say surviving, but just idling. I've probably used that video in the past before of just easing by day. And that's a horrible way to live life. I'll say that, of just idling. Um, especially being like a puppet of someone else. It feels like it sucks also. And I would never want to do that to someone else. I would never want to live that life, but I've kind of like gone down that path essentially. And there's a lot of things that I want to change, a lot of things I want to, coming back from my trip, because I'll be gone an entire week. And coming back, I want to definitely change some things. I'll be going into my final semesters for college, getting my bachelor's degree. Um, so I know there's a lot of things there. I want to finish off that, and then, definitely find a very stable job, not just little odd jobs here and there as a tech guy. In some ways, that's the path that I chose, and so I got to deal with it in that way. But I wasn't built for sports. I wasn't built for, military athletics, anything like that. I was more mental and more, maybe entertainment in that way, or in being there as a friend. I don't have this crazy elaborate character or persona that I put on in my videos. I just go straight forward and tell everybody how it is. It's very minor editing, if that. I don't think I'll ever get too big into lies and deceptions and tweaking things, in that regard, or clickbait and whatnot. I kind of just want to give it to people and let them enjoy it, But that's why I have a lot of good ideas for this channel too. And I would want to be able to give out some ideas while I'm there visiting my brothers and friends. And I want to do, some cool little skits and whatnot. I had one idea for stuff Fortnite players say, and just playing with my brother, I hear a lot of crazy things and lingo and words that they use. So I would like to put that forward into a little skit for you guys to enjoy. Just mostly it's about making memories and just having stuff on this channel forever. I kind of want to widen out, the landscape there of the channel, just a little bit of everything essentially. That's why I've been doing the free to use gameplay. That's why I've been doing not as much straight up Arma Ops or reviews or stuff like that, just kind of updates here and there. It's been a while since you guys probably seen a face-to-face video, so I think it's very fitting here. I guess we'll call this a regulator talk essentially, kind of like the one I did back in Christmas that people talk about and they enjoy. But it was one of the more harder videos for me to make, especially in this one right here, where I'm kind of just going to be rambling onto you guys, pretty much standing still, maybe shifting a little bit back and forth for who knows how long. Essentially, I'll just kind of keep this thing rolling until I run out of things, which hopefully, won't be too long a video for you guys to endure. But, with this trip, I'll kind of just take it piece by piece. So I have a lot of worries. I haven't flown in years since I was very young, so I'll be traveling this road pretty much by myself, and that's kind of what it feels like in a way. I have people there, I guess, spiritually or and whatnot, in spirit for me, but physically it's just me. And financially, I'm not a rich boy at all when it comes to that regard. I'm bringing less than $200 on a trip that was already pretty costly, and that's every dollar I have essentially. I think right now it boils down to $163 and 32 cents. So I'm kind of working very limitedly, and when it comes down to it, if someone asks me and they're like, hey, let's have a pizza, or let's get a game or something like that, or V-Bucks or something, it's really hard for me to say no. Maybe I'll have some self-control there and be but it just adds on to my worry. I want to still have a good time and be a people pleaser, and I kind of want to play it safe in this trip too. in a regard that I probably will have a little bit of sensory overload going from one extreme of my environment to a different, and just kind of walking my own path in a way. And it sucks that this wasn't even, I guess, a path kind of carved out for me because of the events of certain individuals going down from here all the way to where I'll be visiting, and everything in between. Things didn't have to pan out how they had to be. And so it really sucks in that regard, that I had to wait like 5 years of essentially being online friends, with my family members on the other side. And that really stinks, especially someone that I'm really close to with Bolton. It's like I said, being a superhero, but I'm not there, and I can tell you guys some great stories. I haven't talked about in videos and what not, but where he's ended up in with fights with kids or whatever, or calling me crying, multiple times, and I was the first person he thought of to call and talk to, and that's very heartwarming, and it gives me a passion to, fight on and continue. Like, no matter how hard things get, it's very much a driving force for me, because I alone am not my own driving force. I think it'd have to be, whether it be my career, my YouTube, my friends, my family, I am not my own driving force. And I don't think many people are in their own lives. I think, whether it be your kids, your husband, wife, your, brother, sister, your best friend, whoever, you're going to be their driving force, and they're your driving force also. So I think to say that my brother is one of my key driving forces, especially, since I've met him, it was like, this is a person I want to protect, and I want to, do the best for. And I don't know why in that regard, because I know he lives a good life, and I know, he's in good hands. And I don't know why, I just feel that, maybe it's just the big brother mentality in me or whatnot, but I don't know. On a side note, though, it probably is weird for you guys to see me here with very much a clean-shaven face. And last time I had a big old grizzly beard, I think, actually, for Christmas, and I had like a Batman hat or something. But nope, going in clean-shaven for this one. It was actually for I was going to go to a Comic-Con, but it got canceled, sadly. Like I said, everything kind of worked out. It was actually going to be during the Friday and Saturday that I'll be there in Indiana. Excuse me if I'm burping, dying a little bit inside. I don't know why. But that got canceled, and I shaved for it, so got my hair all short and got rid of the beard. But I got more of a summer look at the very end of summer somehow. So I went through most of the summer with just the beard. So, but it'll be back for all you people that love to see my beard, or my Mr. Monopoly mustache, as I call it. Less to worry about it being itchy and whatnot. But it also brings in the youthfulness, I will say also. But so there's some worries there. In terms of fear, though, I fear that things will change essentially in my life too much, because I'm okay with change. There's always a bit of risk and change you have to take, but I think the fear comes down to very much a lot of the unknowns in life. And for me, that's going to be, how in the world am I going to traverse 2 airports, one even by myself alone, 3.5 hours. But by the time you guys see this video, God willing, I will have done that and made it through the day, and I'll be a lot happier by the end of it. As of right now, my brother doesn't know that I'm coming in. It's been alluded to by people who cannot keep their mouth shut, and I would appreciate it if he didn't find out. But it's not always the case. So I may surprise them, I may not. By the time you guys watch this video, I want it to be a surprise though, because just that reaction I would love to see, and I'd probably put it up on the channel for you guys to see also, and put all up and all about. So there's that. But back to more on like the fears that I have is very much like the change of what's going to happen post coming back, because I remember the last time, 5 years ago, was a spiral downhill. So there's always an incredibly high, and then there's always an incredibly low. And I think it's kind of dispersed itself throughout the last 5 years, because I managed to stay busy, and whether it be through moving to North Carolina, graduating high school, graduating college, going back to college, hanging out with friends. The highs and lows always disperse themselves, and so it kind of like masked itself in a sense. But now as things are kind of calming down, it's like, who knows what my next journey will be in a sense. So I don't know, I guess I'll take that one step at a time. And it just feels like at this point in my life, especially being, I'd say essentially the oldest sibling, and no one really to give me the like backings or advice or the heads up of all the roadblocks or all the worries and whatnot. There's always this time where I'd say from post high school to nearing the end of college, if you go through college, if you just, what do I do next, essentially. And it feels like every decision matters, is a major decision. Like, there is no such thing as a small decision anymore, and that changes people. And I've always lived my life very safe in a sense. I've always like I said, no drinking, no drugs, anything like that. Not any tattoos for now, at least I say. Especially like since the passing of one of my closest friends with Johnny. I don't think I'll ever drink alcohol at all in my life. I can never say never, essentially, but I will say for the time being, I see no reason to at all. I don't see that as a coping mechanism. For me, the coping of his loss and the coping of day by day and just getting through it mentally is kind of just, all right, what do I need to accomplish today? How do I get over with it? But I feel like for me personally, I want to make more goals, essentially. And that's where some things like when I was making textures kind of felt good, even though it came at a time where you needed XYZ done. It'd be during the most like important weeks, so like exam weeks, and I feel like I probably could have done better in those if I wasn't working on other projects. And essentially all this is also coming at a time where none of this makes me any money. I will say that. I'm definitely a person who doesn't care about money. I have much disdain for people who have this greed and lust for money. I will say that's probably one of the more disdains I have towards people who are like that. I get it, but I don't like it at all. And I don't want to surround myself with people like that at all, honestly. I think money is just an item, but when it is an essential, that is when I really hate it. And I'm living this point in my life where it's borderline about to be an essential, and I don't want to go down the path of making myself a greedy, lustful person of never enough money. I want enough to have a nice life and have me a damn Papa John's pizza. All right, let's be honest, guys. That's the honest truth there with that one. But no, I don't know, guys. And that's just life in itself. Is just, I don't knows, and that sucks. So we talked about the worries, we talked about the fears, and let's talk about some of the things that, will make me happy there. Of course, I touched about like a little bit of friends there. One in particular is Haig. We all know Haig. We all love Haig. I know some people are 50-50 on Haig because he can get on some people's sides, but that's just how people are sometimes. People have the side where they can just kind of annoy you, or they can be your best friend. Haig's been one of my closest friends. And I know some people were like, how are you still friends with him after all this time? And it's just because I'm kind of friends with everybody, and he's been a great friend to me. And when I told him I was coming in, hopefully I'll get the opportunity to see him in some way. We've been friends for basically 10 years. Since the birth of Minecraft, we are literally the definition of Minecraft buddies, going all the way back to like early builds of Minecraft when like there wasn't even hunger or stuff like that. So I would say it would be nice if I do run across him. A lot of families that I remember playing like old PlayStation games with or hearing about. A lot of family members. I know they want to have like a little like party and get everyone together. And I know that kind of adds probably to my sensory overload. So every time my brothers and my father were in town, I wouldn't eat for days on end, and I can probably see that happening also throughout. It's just kind of who I am, and being the first time, I think it'll also like not help in that regard. So there's that. But I would still like to see everybody and meet them and be like, okay, because it's like the two sides of my life, and it's very much the like I hate whenever people have to go through that, because I see that a bit in my cousin, where you have two very different lifestyles, and I would never want that for anyone, essentially. Going from like almost having two personalities of a person of who you are. I would never want that, and I don't think that's going to change me at all, going from North Carolina to Indiana, going from southern lifestyle to up north, because even the personality I am on the internet, on YouTube, in real life, it's very much a straight line across the board, across the horizon. You're not going to get anything too crazy. And I think when people see me there and they just see that's just Dom, it's just relaxed, calm nature, I'll be your buddy in all that regard. I think nothing will really change, and I don't think anybody will have any temptations for me or want me to do anything stupid while I'm there. And I would hope they wouldn't too, because I would be like, hey, no, like no, there's no crazy wild side to me. It's just I know what I want, and I know what I've wanted for the last 5 years, and to feel like a final goodbye chapter, I could not put it away. Especially when you have someone calling you every day at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, calling you crying, that they need you. And like I said, I never want that to go away, even 4 or 5 years from now. I don't care how old my brother is, like I still want that close relationship with all my siblings. But I feel like him in particular, like we have not like any loss at all in that bond. Essentially is that nothing has broken that. There's also been events that have made us tighter, and I like to think this will be one of those things that will make us a lot tighter. So well, everybody, it's kind of winding down here for the regulator talk. Some side things going on. Post coming back from Fort Wayne. You guys probably will not see a video from August 4th through the 11th. Aside from the one that you're going to be seeing right now on the 4th at like 6 p.m. EST. So the 4th is that I just didn't want to do a bulk upload and then put stuff throughout while I was gone. I want it to be very much like a vacation. You guys can just chill, relax, have a good time. Let this be the last video that I do, and then I'll have a follow-up coming back and whatnot. And we'll roll back into the normal stuff of what we do. Maybe switch some things up a bit. Maybe I'll be inspired in that regard. Who knows? I got school coming back up on the 19th. My brother starts literally the day after I leave. So it'll probably be kicking back into, changing the gear shift once again. Maybe doing some more side jobs. I still have to do some more stuff with the web development. So recently I've been talking with the person who makes the Fallout clothing mod, bringing out all the Fallout armors and uniforms and factions to Arma 3, Sturban Top, and hopefully we can get rolling there with helping him, because I very much would like to see that mod succeed. Not that I wouldn't see any other mod succeed, but I've known Sturban Top, we've talked for a long time, essentially a while, probably since last September, maybe October, maybe a little bit before that, essentially. Even during like the NCR uniforms and stuff like that, the RHM4s and whatnot, those mods you can only find on Armaholic. And I definitely want to be an asset there and help out and get, units together and kind of have like this revival in a sense of, Arma, because as we transition into the school year DLC, I don't know what's a DLC, the Arma 3 Contact DLC, then into the school year. I know it comes a bit later throughout the summer, but I think during the school year it will give people something good to do throughout the school years and the work year that just never ends, to come home and jump into a mission or an op or whatever. Me personally, I think those times are kind of dwindling and numbered, essentially. But it would be nice to pass on my information there that I've acquired. And I honestly see myself playing less and less video games, in particular the only games I really, as much as I've loved Total War 3 Kingdoms, and I do want to try out the DLC when I come back, I just, literally it's just been Fortnite with my brother, and that's it. Maybe some Minecraft. That's it. So I am living my, my life from 2011, 2012, right now 2019 when it comes to Minecraft. And that's really it. Not much time for any other games, so I check it here and there, but I stay pretty busy. But I also go through different, each day is a different day of being extremely motivated and wanting to do stuff like this and do a million things and PR and talking to people and getting things all set up. And then there's other days where I just relax and just want to stay in bed all day and not do anything. And that's not me. I hate doing that, honestly. I want to always be active and doing something. And maybe that's where I would have done better in sports, honestly. If I had to take one thing back and put myself in pick myself up and put myself in one sport, if it wasn't wrestling, probably soccer in that regard, or baseball. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm doing. This is what I'm stuck with for now doing. And it's been fun, everybody. And I will take my nice little vacation, and I will enjoy it, and I will hear from all my friendos when I return. I know some people say, hey, don't even get on Discord at all. We got this. And I'm like, well, of course you guys are going to see pictures and videos. You follow my Instagram or Snapchat. I know I don't plug on my social medias or whatnot, but if people really want to go out there and find all that, you can. All the stuff's always in the description. You can stay in contact and whatnot, but I'm here until I'm not. That's what I say. So you guys will always, know when I'm around and posting stuff. But for the next week there's not gonna be videos, so don't freak out in that regard. Check my Instagram or Discord and stuff and face reveals, and you'll see some stuff there. I want to thank definitely the family members that have been supportive. I want to thank all the friends that are supportive, all the friends that know kind of my driving force and have been nice to Bolton and whatnot. and thank all the people who make my life just a little bit easier. So, but that's gonna wrap it up here for Regulator Talk. I will be going to see my brother and going to see the rest of my family members, and hopefully Bolton has a very good birthday surprise coming up. So you guys don't forget to wish him a good old happy birthday, and we'll see you all next time. All right, peace out, everybody.